The Blue Slide Playground in Frick Park is the fitting spot to remember the rapper. Blue Slide Park was the title of his debut album. He grew up playing here, and this morning, workers dried the concrete from all the rain we've had lately and put a fresh coat of blue paint on before tonight's vigil.
The passing of Mac Miller in 2018 hit me particularly hard. I was pretty early to the party on Mac, discovering his mixtapes as a teen myself on datpiff.com. I'm basically the same age as Mac, so seeing his meteoric rise to the top of hip-hop left me about as inspired as it did seething with jealousy. And watching his whole career basically come and go at the point of his untimely death was pretty tough to manage. But having followed Mac Miller closely through this entire time, I was lucky enough to witness some of the more interesting moments that might have passed more casual fans by. Mac Miller came from Pittsburgh and actually went to the same high school as Wiz Khalifa. That was Taylor Allardyce High School, which you might remember as the title of what, in my opinion, is the best mixtape ever that was released by Wiz Khalifa. It was so good, in fact, that it almost made up for his terrible collaborations with British rapper Tiny Temper. To be fair, you can tell from the music video for that Wiz definitely couldn't wait for Tiny to be gone. During his time at Taylor Allardyce, Mac Miller started rapping and eventually wound up releasing some of the best mixtapes ever to grace the questionable pages of datpiff.com. His amazing skills on the mic and his cheeky personality led him right to the top of the worlds of both hip-hop and tomato nose vaping. But the big step from mixtape rapper to industry hip-hop juggernaut came in the form of a single track titled Donald Trump. So I don't follow the news at all unless it's hip-hop, and I tend to try and stay pretty much completely apolitical. But during the course of researching this video, turns out that Donald Trump's actually quite a famous man. Donald Trump famously hosted the TV show The Apprentice, where a half-wit inexplicably in a position of power casts his judgments over a non-stop supply of whole wits in a never-ending cavalcade of pointless arguments and challenges. Sounds like American politics to me. And we all know that Donald Trump went on to hold down one of the most prestigious positions in American society, being a guest on WrestleMania. Oh yeah. Now, aside from being an approved supplier of top quality beatdowns to the WWE, Donald Trump is actually a successful entrepreneur in various fields, including selling low quality cuts of meat and discount university degrees. I mean, this guy's like an ethical Ty Lopez. Now, having been such a baller for so many decades, it's no surprise that Donald Trump has been shouted out in many hip hop songs. Raekwon famously called himself the Black Trump in the song Incarcerated Scarfaces, and even Tupac was 24 years ahead of the curve and had some pretty harsh words for Trump in this old school interview.
Everywhere, big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush.
So it turns out at this point in Mac Miller's career, he was on a roll creating songs based around names of famous people. And he was looking for a successful entrepreneur to name his new song after.
I liked making songs named after people. Like I did one called Bruce Wayne. And the ideas of the songs, like there's a song about Donald Trump, but the aura of the song is kind of...
I get it.
So he decided to name his song Donald Trump, and what could possibly go wrong? Well, it turns out that Donald Trump actually is the ratings machine that he claims to be, and the song ended up doing very well. The song racked up YouTube views in the tens of millions, and it even hit the Billboard charts, peaking at number 75. So with an ego as big as the Empire State and his name ringing in the streets, Ronald Dump decided to get a one-way ticket all aboard the Clout Express and ride it all the way to Pride City. Around the time that the song hit about 20 million views on YouTube, Trump appeared in a bizarre online video that seemed to both congratulate Mac Miller whilst also fishing around that he should be owed some money.
A lot of people are calling me about the Mac Miller rap song. Now, it's named Donald Trump. Maybe you should pay me a lot of money, but it just hit over 20 million people tuning in to Mac Miller. So in one way, I'm proud of him. I haven't actually seen the language. It's a little bit hard to understand on the song itself. Probably it's not the cleanest language we've ever heard. But this kid is the new Eminem. Everybody says he's fantastic. And let's see what it is. But the Donald Trump song just hit over 20 million. That's not so bad. I'm very proud of that.
In this video, Trump suggested Mac Miller was about to go on to be the next Eminem, which to be fair is kind of true, though Eminem did survive his overdose. Sorry about that one.
It was ridiculous how people got so worked up over him being like, "You're the new Eminem." Like all he meant was I'm a white rapper and I'm blowing up. Like people were all like, "How how could the Donalds say that?
Mac Miller seemed to respond to this cosign positively, though with a little bit of caution on both This Is 50 and Hard Knock TV.
His towers are like right over here. Are you gonna go by and say hi to him? And what was it like being endorsed by him?
It was hilarious. But no, I don't actually know him personally. We never like talked or anything like that. I think people think that like, that's the homie.
I was under the assumption that he was your homie and like helping you out, like, you know?
No.
After that song came out in 2011, Mac continued having success and his career would go from strength to strength in the coming years. He went on to release his debut album, Blue Slide Park, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts and ended up moving over 500,000 copies. Interestingly, another clip of Trump surfaced later on where he appears to be congratulating Mac Miller for hitting around 54 million views on his Donald Trump song, whilst also once again suggesting that maybe Mac should owe him some money.
A young rapper named Mac Miller just did a song called Donald Trump, and I've just been told it hit over 54 million. 54 million people. I want some money, Mac. Give me some money. I'm entitled to 25% at least. Mac, I want money.
The weird thing is, a lot of places on the internet date this clip at around 2015, but this would have probably taken place around April 2012, when Mac Miller's video was at about 54 million views. However, in 2013, the song Donald Trump went platinum, and Mr. Trump himself then started getting about as salty as the preservatives in his steaks. This is when Donald Trump decided to get into a Twitter beef with Mac Miller, years before you even knew what a Donald Trump Twitter beef was. Now at this point, Donald Trump actually threatened to sue Mac Miller, calling him an ungrateful dog, as well as telling him to kiss his ass. And I shit you not, he even made fun of Mac Miller for not having as much hair as him. Now an interesting tidbit about this is this actually never ended up going to court, but Trump did end up getting given a platinum plaque for the song Donald Trump. So we can assume that there was at least some kind of communication between Mac's team and Trump, and maybe an agreement was struck behind closed doors. However, what's really interesting is how this song and that platinum plaque actually played a role in the 2018 Mueller investigation into Russian collusion in Donald Trump's campaign. This actually relates to an infamous meeting where Trump, Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort, they went to meet a Russian who supposedly had some dirt on Hillary Clinton. That meeting was actually set up by a British music publicist named Rob Goldstone, and during his interview with Robert Mueller as part of that investigation, he recalled a time in 2015 where he went to visit Donald Trump and noticed that he was blasting loud rap music. That ended up actually being that song Donald Trump, and he even showed off his plaque and bragged about having had 1 million sales of this song. No matter what your politics are or what you think of Robert Mueller, you gotta admit, amazing yogurts. To be fair, I'm guessing Trump didn't get a plaque for the song F Donald Trump by YG and Nipsey Hussle. Now after that Twitter back and forth, the feud died down and Mac Miller was interviewed suggesting that he actually didn't mind that all of this went down and that he was happy to be on the list of top people that Trump has feuded with over the years.
The Donald Trump beef that is fucking incredible. And I look at myself as way more legendary because of it. Because if you look at Donald Trump's beefs, it's like me, Bill Maher, and Obama. So like I'm out here for real.
But in another classic Donald Trump flip-flop, 2 years after that initial Twitter rant, he actually shouted out Mac Miller on Twitter, as well as in a sit-down interview where he actually played the song and bigged it up for getting 100 million views. But everything changed in 2016 when Donald Trump decided to throw his hat into the ring and run for the President of the United States. It was at this point that Mac Miller had enough and he decided to flip the switch on Donald Trump and air him out in an electrifying speech on The Nightly Show. Mac was even asked by Genius how he would actually feel if Donald Trump won.
I just don't want to think about that ever happening. I'm not endorsing him, but if Donald Trump was our fucking president, it would be hilarious. Like imagine the State of the Union. Like, oh my God. Imagine watching Donald Trump get sworn in with his hand on the Bible, right hand, excuse me, whatever it is, with his hand on the Quran.
So that's the story. I hope you enjoyed that, and I just want to say that honestly, I really do mean it when I say that Mac Miller has always been one of my favorite rappers growing up. All of the jokes in this video were just a little bit of fun. I don't mean any disrespect by them, and seriously, if you're not a huge Mac Miller fan, just go back and listen to some of his old mixtapes in the archive. Those songs were really there for me at a time when I needed them, at a time when I was growing up. And honestly, the inspiration that I got from seeing him blow up and have such an amazing career in such a short space of time motivated me to do everything that I do today, whether it's my YouTube, whether it's something that I do in business, whether it's making a bit of music on the side. The guy's just an inspiration and he really deserves to be remembered. And I'm really glad that stories out there exist so that I can just tell them in a new, entertaining way and keep championing Mac Miller and his rightful place in the hip hop culture as one of the greatest. I really appreciate you watching this, and if you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe below. Smash that notification bell so you can see every single time that I upload. I appreciate all the notification gang that are getting down there in my comments quick time after I've been uploading. Love having a chat with you guys and liking your comments, so I do see those and always do drop me a fast comment if you're in the notification gang. Also, if you want to support my channel some more, please check out my Patreon in the description below. And if you want to support me even more than that, definitely go and check out my merch store. I've got some hot pieces of merch in there right now, you know how I'm moving. Got a bit of fluff on my shirt there. It's my girlfriend's cat, just getting some fluff on your boy. So the fluff is actually not included. So if you do buy a t-shirt, you do have to add your own additional fluff. I don't provide the fluff. But yeah, go cop a t-shirt, show some support. I've had quite a few videos get demonetized last month. A few of my more risque topics have been getting demonetized. So it'd be really handy, just get that extra support. I really appreciate it. If you can, if you can't, that's cool. Just keep watching. I really appreciate it. And so thanks so much for watching. Everybody that's been supporting, thanks again. You mean the world to me. Thank you. Until next time, peace out.